Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Good morning, good people. Happy Friday. Feel good fan Friday. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele, and I'm still coming with the boom. Boom! Nah, I don't want to be offense coordinator, Derek, but what's up, Cowboys Nation? It is Friday, meaning one more day to the Cowboys play those filthy Philadelphia Eagles. And coming up today, I'm going to talk about three things I'm looking for in that game, in really a meaningful game, if that makes sense. Probably the most meaningful game season finale we got this week. In the roundup, we'll also talk about some more players that hit COVID, unfortunately, and then how the opportunity coming out of the roundup for some of these young bucks, some of these rookies to get some tick, and how important that is going into the playoffs. Yeah. Feel Good Friday, though. It always sucks when you have a Feel Good Friday coming off of a loss, but nonetheless, it still is a Feel Good Friday. So we'll continue to bring that energy and that positive mojo moving forward into the weekend. A weekend that kind of starting off on a negative side with the Cowboys, right? Down here about 15 minutes away from where I'm at, there's been more people added to that COVID list. And I guess the silver lining is at least it happened this week and not next week. So we'll get into that right off the top in the roundup. But first up, let me shout out to some of you guys that are in the building. Oh, man, my guy, Stevie McNamara guy, he went in and got tested yesterday, so he never hit me back. And it looks like he does have the vid. So let's make sure that our guy, Stevie McNamara guy, is doing well. Give him your well wishes as he's recovering from the vid. Shout out to Tamara, Mike Harris, TC915, Mark Smith, J. Mart Fishing, James Ferguson, Roland, James Simmons, Derek Smalls, Nobles, Tamara, Jeremy, Jacob. What else we got in here? Adrian, what's up, Adrian? How you doing? Ida, Jeremy Parker, Mike G. Dak owns filthy. See, I like the Dak owns filthy, and then the Eagles are trash. Both of y'all come in this week. I need y'all to be here today, all right? Keith Shep. And over on Facebook, Mo Z. Oscar Sullivan, what's up, Oscar? We got Brandon Edwards, Octavia, LQ, Lance Bell. Who else is in the building over here? Peter M. Chase, or Charles Pease, I'm sorry. Tim Garcia. Dannon, and I know I saw my guy in here. I know I saw you in here, bro. Where you at? There go Chuck P right there. I don't see CJ just quite yet. I always look for CJ over here. T. Tim Hall, how you doing, T. Tim Hall? And the many more that are coming through. Make sure y'all check this thing out. If you haven't live, check it out on the run back. And if you missed Koye and I's show yesterday, really good show. Always, man. I know I say that a lot, but I mean, it's the truth. Really good show with Koye. We talked a lot about Kellen. We talked a lot about the offense, and then we went through our confidence meter going into the playoffs with certain parts of the team, the coaches, Dak, the offensive line, and then the coordinators. We went into our confidence meter. So that was a good segment there. Maybe we'll bring it back today. We'll see. But I really enjoyed that show. So make sure I check that out if you haven't. LQ Davis on Facebook already says, how you feel about AB becoming a Cowboy since MG is out? No. I'm thinking of Anthony Brown. You're talking about Antonio Brown. I'm good, LQ. I'm good off that. I think we got enough weapons to take care of business. It's going to be up to the coaches and the players to get the job done. I think you got enough. I don't think you need Anthony Brown. That'll just be a mess, man. That'll be a mess. All right, let's jump right into the roundup, because here's what we're going to do, by the way. 351-999-3787. It is Fan Friday, so today's mostly about you guys once we get through the roundup and my 3 things that I'm looking forward to see in this game. Hit me up, 351-999-3787. Let's hear from you guys as we get into this weekend. It's so weird because tomorrow is the game. I'm still trying to put that in my head that tomorrow is the actual game and it's Saturday night. So you won't see me. You'll see me tomorrow night, but you won't see me again for 2 more days. So real strange. Nevertheless, let's jump into the roundup and let's get to it.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
This is the morning roundup presented by Texas Family Fitness, a solution for your fitness goals. Whether it be weight loss, strengthening up, toning up, sports, or stress relief, our friends over at TFF have everything you need, from state-of-the-art equipment, group classes, and experienced professional certified trainers. So if you're looking to begin your fitness journey, head on over to any of the 9 locations in the DFW area or visit TexasFamilyFitness.com. First up, the assistant coaches talked again yesterday. They've been switching those days up. Some days it's been Monday, some days it's been Tuesday. It usually is Tuesday, but I guess because of the weird week, they did it yesterday. Whatever. Kellen Moore came out and they asked him about the Jacksonville Jaguars interview. And he said that's not really on his mind right now. He talked about how he turned it down, but he didn't turn it down officially. Here's what he said, technically. He said, I think obviously that's why you have agents. They're allowed to go through the process, and I'm really just on Philadelphia, and we'll get to that when we get to it. Moore did not elaborate on where he stands with the job opening, but he did say he has not spoken with the Jaguars. He did not specify whether an interview has been scheduled at some point. He ended with, I think those things will pop up when they need to be addressed, and I'm not too concerned with that right now. Good answer, Kellen. Good answer, because you don't need to be worried about that Jacksonville Jaguars job right now. Listen, I may want you to take it. I may be okay with you taking that job, sure. But the focus needs to be 6. The focus needs to be, how do I get this offense to look like it looked earlier in the year when it was balanced, right? They talked about the running game and things like that. He said we didn't get to – here's what bugs me. He said, yeah, we didn't get to the number of rushes that we wanted to. See, I'm about to go down this rabbit hole. I don't like the way he said that. We didn't get to the number of rushes we wanted to. What? To me, that sounds like, to me, hey, we're just going to run the ball just to get to a number. As opposed to we're running the ball to impose our will, or we're running the ball because teams that have beat the Arizona Cardinals ran the ball on them, or we're running the ball because it's part of the game plan. We didn't get to the number we wanted to. Yeah, we got to work on that. Huh? All right, Kellen, listen, man. At least your focus is on Philly, and then it should be on whoever you play next, be it the Cardinals or the Rams. I think it's going to be one of those 2 teams. So listen, I'm cool with you taking a job, but I do need your focus on this upcoming week in the playoffs. Like I said at the top of the show, there are COVID players added, and two big names. One being Tyron Smith, literally big, and just big in general, being our Pro Bowl left tackle. I mean, this is just par for the course. In and out with Tyron Smith. We figured maybe it'd be some type of injury, but it's COVID. Again, maybe a slither of silver lining in that he can rest. Even though he just came off a rest, but, trying to find some silver lining into these COVID additions that keep getting added to the list. And he joins Michael Parsons, and he also joins Anthony Brown, one on the COVID list. Bubble up. That's all I can say. After this week, please bubble up. Stay at the Omni, stay at the Star. I don't care where they got to stay, but stay where you need to stay because you're going to get a home game, so you don't got to travel anywhere. Be responsible. Don't, just do what you need to do to make sure you're available for next week. Cowboy players. Just do what you got to do. On top of AB and Tyron being added to the COVID list, a bunch of players were sick yesterday. So, we do this show early in the morning. We come on before Mike McCarthy gets a chance to, and usually something is said during those press conferences. So would I be shocked if other names pop up? I would not be. So far, Donovan Wilson and Trayvon Diggs were held out of practice on Thursday due to illnesses, but they didn't test positive for the C-19 just yet. Something to keep your eye on. Then finally, with Anthony Brown likely out this week and Trayvon Diggs questionable now. He's questionable. He went from not being on the injury report to questionable because of his illness. I mean, that's kind of significant. It wasn't like he was limited. It was did not practice, questionable. So there's a possibility that he won't play. And there's also a possibility that Donovan Wilson won't play. And also a possibility that Jaron Kearse won't play. So that means there's more opportunities for young players, right, Cowboys Nation? There's more opportunities for the Nashawn Wrights, the Kelvin Josephs, we see Israel Mukwamu, right? There's more opportunities for those guys. And right off the bat in the first word, let's take a listen to Dan Quinn, who talks about Boss Man Fat getting his opportunity again, who's kind of stepped up over the last few weeks in the sense of literally getting more reps. So take a listen to Dan Quinn talking about Boss Man Fat here.
You never want to lose a guy, obviously, but with Anthony Brown being out, is there an added excitement level to see more of Kelvin Joseph like you've seen down the last couple games here?
Yeah, I would definitely. I guess just a few weeks ago when Jordan being out, I thought it really showcased and highlighted Kelvin putting the work in to be ready. And so that moment, you really get a chance to prove yourself to say, all right, in this moment, how's it going to go down? How are you going to be ready? And I thought the work that he's put in allowed himself to say, when the moment comes, I'll be ready. It's not the easiest thing to do, Todd, to make sure you're wanting to go, and all you're doing is in practice. You're not getting the chances to go. And so he had some play time in the dime package and others, but having that moment, I guess, proved, the work that you put in about getting ready and playing, it paid off. And, he'll get some more opportunities for that tomorrow.
He'll get some more opportunities for that tomorrow. I think he's going to play the most snaps he's played all year. And his snap take has increased over the last 2 weeks. He's played 120 snaps on the year, but 106 of them have come the last 2 weeks with, obviously, against Washington, you had Jordan Lewis out. And then last week, I don't know if Jordan Lewis got benched. I don't really know what that was about, but Jordan Lewis came out the game. Boss Man Fat played a ton in that game. So you'll get a chance to see him in a featured starting role, I think, on Saturday. There's a possibility that Diggs won't play, so he'll be the guy out there. He'll be the man at cornerback. And you also may see Nashawn Wright. If Diggs doesn't play, Nashawn Wright hasn't played many snaps at all on defense. In fact, only 17 snaps on the defensive side of the ball. But his name, it's popped up this year mostly on special teams. Some good, some bad, right? The good being got the block punt and the touchdown. The bad being there was a block punt and he dropped it and it turned into a first down against Denver, which could have been a momentum-changing opportunity. And then last week, he had the weird defensive pass interference / helmet catch with the Arizona Cardinals. So we've really only seen Nashawn Wright on special teams, and it's been more bad than it's been good if you were in regards to the big splash plays. So we'll get a chance to see Nashawn tomorrow, which I'm starting to lean towards, squad. I'm starting to lean towards this game being kind of like a preseason game. Just being honest with y'all. I don't know that you want to treat this game as a 4-quarter, put all your starters in and play this whole thing out. At the beginning, it was like, okay, I can see you playing maybe 3 quarters. Now I'm looking at it like a quarter and a half, 2, and let's get out of here. That doesn't mean I don't want to win. Trust me. If you know me, we're playing the team I despise the most. If I got to run on the field and trip somebody to win, I'll do it. I don't care if it's a meaningful game. But nonetheless, we have to be smart, right? We got to be smart. Going into the playoffs, I don't think Philly, the way I listened to Nick Sirianni the other day, he sounds like he's not sure what to do with his guys. He's got a ton of guys on COVID. He's got his starting quarterback. Who does he want to risk him? Does he want to risk his starters? So it's going to be a strange game. I'm pissed off that the NFL did what they did by flexing this game out because it's kind of doesn't matter in the sense of win-loss for the standings or what have you. Yes, I know, squad. If we win and 3 other teams lose, you get the 2nd seed. I know that. I do. But this feels like a preseason game. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it feels like that to me. Yeah. All right, man. Let's get into the phone lines. We got Reek on the horn. Let's get my guy up in here. What's up, Reek?
Yo, what's good, Sky, man? What's good, Cowboy Nation? Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, man. Yeah, I ain't been around in a little while. My thing is like this, guy, man. Jerry and the organization need to lock this stuff down best as they can.
Yeah,
best as
they need to bubble them up, Rick.
They really do, man, and they need to take it more serious, man. Because I get like Mark Holmes. I seen a little bit of his stuff yesterday. I was like, I was thinking to myself, I hope that brother calm down, man. I don't have no stroke or heart attack.
What happened with Mark?
Making that dude mad. He was going off on the players because he's like, yo, man, it's something serious, man.
Oh,
and
shit.
he was going off on the organization because he was basically saying like, yo, y'all gotta be more smarter, man. Like this thing is like wildfire, man. We too close to our destination to the goal that we want to get to for us to let this pandemic stop us from getting where we got to go. And Jerry Jones got to understand that. We got a team that we can do something with. We got a chance, man. So it's like, okay, if you got to put everybody, like, we got to treat this like the bubble, let's put them in the bubble, man. You got a hotel right next door to the stadium. Put these dudes in the bubble like, yo, bro, we not doing none of that other stuff. We going to do everything together. Yeah. Ain't nobody coming in the building. Ain't nobody going out the building. You know what I'm saying? We going to do it the best way we can. Lock it down, man. The goal is to go win this Super Bowl. In order to go win this Super Bowl, you got to be disciplined on all phases. Yeah, everybody got to be all in. You know what I mean? D. Lamb and Amari Cooper at the goddamn Dallas Maverick game with no mask on, from what I'm hearing, that ain't cool, bro. That's not leadership, man. And Amari Cooper should know better than that. C.D. Lamb, I can see him doing some goofy stuff like that. He's still young, But at the same time, too, hey, man, those are men life. I get it. Y'all superstars. Y'all millionaires. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all doing what y'all got to do. But our $1 billion owner has to sit these dudes down and say, no, we're all that extra activity, we're going to get y'all away from y'all families for a little while because we're going to have to come together as a family. And now is the time to everybody got to come together as one. There's too many people getting sick, man.
Yeah.
And we don't need this going into the playoffs because man, 'cause the main people that we don't want out, we got a potential to get them sick. No, man. It's time to bottle these dudes up, go next door to this hotel, and we're going to stay here long as we can, long as we need to until we try to win the Super Bowl or whatever happens.
Yeah, I think
you
that's
know what
the
I mean.
move. I mean, I think that's the move. Whether what you, it doesn't matter what you believe with the whole situation with the vid. I think the move is to do whatever necessary to protect your guys from testing positive. Because that's the thing, right? Like,
yeah,
they can test positive and be fine health wise, and the players can be fine health wise in there, but it doesn't matter because if they test positive and are fine health wise, they're not going to play. So they need to do what they need. They need to do what's right, and I think it's to bubble up. And it bubbled up last year. It worked. I don't know if it was all year. I don't think it was all year, but there was a part of that season where they bubbled up, and it worked. So I'm with it, yo. I'm with it. I think, now that we're getting to the playoffs, the main focus, and I get it, man. People have lives. You're going to live your lives. But I'm just, I'm requesting, I'm asking as a fan. I'm not trying to tell nobody how to live their life. But as a fan, if we could just say, hey, listen, for this next month, man, I'm just going to put everything into making sure I'm available for this Super Bowl run. And then, after the month's over, I can do whatever I want to do. But this is the times we're living in, unfortunately, Reek. And there's just some sacrifices and compromises you're going to have to make so that you're available on Sunday.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about how you feel about the actual vid. I'm just talking about being available to play. You got to do what's necessary.
Yes, man, and that's all. That's all. Us as fans, that's what we want. We want them to be as serious as we is about them, like we are about them winning this Super Bowl, man. Going on this quest to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's all, man. But I have one more question. I'm off here. What do you think? I know this dude is a head case, and you know who I'm talking about.
Oh,
but
gosh.
speed kills. But speed kills. That's all I got to say. Speed kills. And, we only got a month. Like you said, this dude is experienced. He won one. We can talk all that junk about him because he's a head case. And, I don't want to speculate, but I think something really wrong with him mentally. But as far as a football player, he's an experienced football player, and speed kills, and we just lost out one of our best wide receivers on this team. I don't see why we can't ride this dude back until the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Because he loved playing he plays better when he got a grudge against somebody, and he would love more than to kick Tampa Bay behind.
You know what's funny?
But that's just a thought.
You ain't even say his name, and everybody know who you talking about.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I already know.
But there might be some people out here. For those who don't know who you talking about, go ahead and say his name.
AB, man. Antonio Brown, man. Hey, if Jerry I get choked out again by his son, because he brought Deion to go win one, hey, man, I don't see the problem trying to, we love trouble players over here. We won a lot of Super Bowls with the trouble players. I just want to putting it out there. That's all I got to say, man. I'm trying to win one, man. I'm trying to, by any means necessary. I'm trying to win. But I'm going to holler at y'all, though, man.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, as
peace.
always, Rick. I said this at the top of the show. I think it was LQ on Facebook who had asked me about AB. I don't see the need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree with you in the sense that he is a Hall of Fame type of player, but he's also a Hall of Fame head case, number one. Number two, I get that he's I don't even know if he's matured after what just happened. And a part of me is still in the middle of this thing because I'm hearing one thing, I'm hearing the other. Initially I kind of was coming at AB, then I'm like, oh, well, he's playing through injury. I owe him an apology. Now I'm hearing other things. He ain't my problem. I don't want him to be, I don't care for him to be the Cowboys' problem. Yeah, he good. First of all, he hurt, right? Ain't he hurt? So I don't know how he would come in here in a week and then play next week to the playoffs. So that's just the realistic part of that doesn't make any sense, right? He's hurt. But you don't need him. In fact, make sure I'm walking this line correctly here. I feel bad for Michael Gallup, man. Just a really good dude, really good player. Loved in that locker room, loved by the coaches, loved by the players. Hell, his best friend is Cedric Wilson, who's going to step in for him. But I'm almost a little bit more confident in this offense. And that is really not a shot at Michael Gallup. It's almost a shot at the coordinator, because I don't think he knows how to use all these guys collectively. But I did notice more of a trend when he didn't have Gallup. There was more of a deliberate effort to do certain things. Let me try to make more sense with that. When Michael Gallup was out of the lineup in the first 6 to 7 weeks or what have you, we were deliberate in what we did. We were a 12 personnel team. Our offense is going to go through the running game and through 19 and 88. And 86 was he was a product of what was around him in that sense. Right? I think once he got Gallup back, he felt this need to get all three of these 1,000-yard wide receivers involved in a way that kind of took away an identity that we had. And so I don't blame Michael Gallup for that, because he made plays, right? The touchdown against the Saints, I think he made a play against the the Falcons and things like that. But it's almost making Kellen Moore, I think it will make Kellen Moore have to bog down and get back to a legitimate process, not just willy-nilly out there calling plays. I know I'm all over the place with this, but I feel strong about that. I do. I feel strong that now that you have 88 on the outside, by the way, 19 on the outside and set in the middle, it's a little bit more traditional on what you can do. And now that Blake Jarwin is coming back, it's a little bit more traditional on what you can do. So, this is no knock to MG. So if you bring in a B, you're going to go right back to that. So it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. And again, because I ain't even peeping the chat yet, I know y'all probably killing me. I'm not coming at Michael Gallup. A phenomenal player. He's going to get his bag. Maybe it's here. Who knows? But the offense just ran differently when Cedric Wilson was that third guy. So I'm interested to see how they do that. What y'all got to say about that? Let me see what y'all got to say about that. Brown is another TO's. Yeah. No Brown. I'm off of Brown. That's why I switched it. He was cleared by the docs. Okay, you're talking about Anthony Brown. MG, get well soon. Again, it sucks, man. It really does. He had a tough year, hamstring injury or whatever, ankle roll, whatever it was in week 1. Doesn't play for 8 weeks or what have you. Comes back, plays 8 weeks and gets hurt for the playoff. That just sucks, man. It really does. But I've seen this offense play well without Michael Gallup. So that's why I'm not as down about it, because I'm not tied to him emotionally as a player. I'm more tied to this damn offense getting right. All right, let's get to 817. 817, what it is, what it do? 817, you on the line? Yep.
Oh, it's me? All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Well, what I first want to talk about is like the COVID thing, the COVID situation. Some people realize probably in the chat, Michael Parsons went to a basketball game. He also went to a basketball game. He posted with his friends. And then the next thing I know is he's on a COVID list. And you see he's going to wear a mask. And I'm like, come on now. We don't got time for this. We got to get ready. It's time for playoffs. Next thing I know, CD and Amari went to this. Not their first time going to a mask game before, but they went because Dirk was getting his his jersey hanged up and everything. But I didn't see them wearing masks, and I'm just like, we don't got time for this. If y'all pop up on a COVID situation when it comes time for playoffs, we're screwed.
Well,
we're pretty much done for.
Coop won't, because he's in that 90-day window since he already had it. They can't test him again for 90 days. But Cedric, I'm sorry, but who's that? The other one, Lamb is not in that window. So, it's a little scary, man. I'm a little nervous.
I agree. The Philadelphia game, I'm ready for it. And I'm ready to kind of see the young players. I know Kevin Joseph's been showing some good things happening. His covering skill is good. He has potential, but I wish he played a little more physical. Well, of course, I want to ask you about Blake Jarwin. So do you feel like since Blake Jarwin's back, they're going to run 12 personnel again? Because that was kind of working at first when we first kind of ran it. Yeah,
I absolutely think they will. Maybe, again, because of the Michael Gallup going down, you're not forcing your hand of going 11 personnel so much. It's so strange how it worked out. Michael Gallup goes down the same week that Blake Jarwin comes back. I don't know if I'd have been confident that we go back into the 12 personnel set if Gallup was still around. But I think they have no choice but to, which is a good thing that they have no choice, because the 12 personnel package worked better with Blake Jarwin because he gives you a dual threat.
Right. And so we have to get back into this running game because people don't realize if we do play like Cardinals and stuff like that, first of all, the Cardinal weakness has always been their running game. And LA too. Both it's crazy though. Both teams' weaknesses has been running game. Anytime the Cardinals or LA have gotten beaten on, it's been high running numbers. And which I was going back and I was watching with Law Nation, which people know about Law.
Yeah.
Law's my guy.
It's my bro right
he
there.
was showing so many times. Well, what I was saying was he was showing so many times we kept running in the middle. We never really ran to the outside. He would show like the play, and then he'll say what like the play is. And I didn't see no runs to the outside. I'm just like, well, if they know you're gonna run up the middle, they just say, okay, well, you know this team is gonna run up the middle, so just clog up the middle and make the tackle.
No,
it doesn't help that.
There was no, again. I said this at the top of the show. If we listen to Kellen Moore's press conference yesterday, he talked about how, we didn't get to the number of rushes we wanted. And to me, that ticked me off because that tells me you really don't have a deliberate effort into running the rock. You're just running it to run it. And then when you go look at the plays, it's clear as day that's what he's doing. It's just a run. It's not an effort to set anything up. It's not an effort to actually get big gains out of this. It's not an effort to do what works on the ground. You're just running. Remember what Cat Williams said? It was like, when you give your kid the Ritalin and he just sitting there and it was like, what you thinking about, son? Running? That was me. I'm thinking about running the ball the right way. And he wasn't doing it. He was just kind of just running. And if that's what he's going to do, that's not going to be successful, man. What worked was that those outside runs. What worked was pulling your guards and your tackles. Did you see any of that on Sunday?
None. And I feel like that's a big issue. I think the Cardinals knew, like, if this team goes back to this old team, if they go back to like this pulling the guards, they were in trouble. People don't understand that they had Buda Baker there. They had all these small guys in these nickel packages. So if you ran and you pulled their guys, Buda Baker is getting squashed. Like if they make it up to the second level, you have very significant yards. And another thing that killed us was penalties. Oh
yeah, that
every time we get a momentum going, I see a penalty somewhere, and it's like, man, like we had it because on that drive with Pollard, I think Pollard got like a 10, 15 yard, and right before I remember getting a penalty. Now, personally, I think some of them penalties was ticky-tacky.
Oh,
that's just me.
100%. Half of those penalties were bullcrap. But what are you going to do? I don't know how long you've been subscribed to the channel or the show, brother, but after
I've been subscribed for a minute.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. So
I just never really called, but
it's all good.
Been subscribed to you.
I appreciate this call, man. It's a great call. Matter of fact, what's your name so I can make sure I plug you in?
Deshaun.
Deshaun?
Deshaun. DESHAWN.
Deshaun. All right, man. So then after my rant on the Raiders game, I said I give up. I give up with the official thing. I just come to the conclusion that this is what they're going to do with the Cowboys, and across the league they suck. Period. But I am no longer expecting them to help us out in these situations. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be pissed off about it, and then I got to move on. So that's just all I can do because it's never going to change.
I agree to that. So. Man, here's my final little quote thing, and I can go ahead and leave. I feel like, personally, the defense did a good job, but they were so tired. Every time I look up, the time of possession was crazy. I forgot what it was, but
that's third quarter.
Arizona almost took like a whole quarter just running the ball down the field. So for the people that I know they're upset, for the people that feel like the defense kind of let us down a little bit, I have to realize that defense was there way longer than they should have. So that's just how I seen it.
No, you're not wrong. I think the third quarter absolutely crushed them because the Cowboys went out and went back-to-back 3-and-outs, and I think they threw the ball. So they ran 6 plays. They might have threw the ball 5 times. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure one of those 3-and-outs were all passes. So They did nothing to give their defense a break. And I said this on Monday, or well, we did the show Wednesday. I said this on Wednesday. If you told me you'd hold a team to 22 points, because I'm not giving them the 3 points, that was the offense fumbling the ball, Dak fumbled the ball, and put them in position. If you tell me, hey, the defense will hold them to 22 points at home, I would think the Cowboys would win. I would, because the Cowboys at home are averaging 38 points per game. So, but if I want to be fair and there is equal blame that goes around, so the defense can be held culpable as well. You got to finish the drives. You have to take that interception away from the Cardinals. They dropped that pick. That was big. It ended up being big in a multitude of ways. So you got to do that. And then obviously in the fourth quarter, you were rested on that last drive. You got to get the stop. So, but that's nitpicking. I thought the defense played well enough to win that game.
I agree. All right. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Scott.
Great call, brother. Appreciate you, Sean. I want to go back and touch on something that he brought up when he was talking about little Buda Baker out there and whatnot. One of the things that the rule changes have allowed you to do as an offensive lineman now is to absolutely maul defensive backs. Do you think La'el Collins would not enjoy pulling and absolutely getting a one-on-one against this little dude and putting him in the dirt? Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, Connor Williams out. He loves that. Connor Williams. See, people be sleeping on him when it comes to his tenacity. He's actually very tenacious. So if you get him out in open space on somebody, whether it be a guard, whether it be a linebacker, safety, or corner, he's trying to power drive those dudes. Use that to your advantage. Use it to your advantage because the corners and the DBs can't cut you anymore. So 9 times out of 10, those dudes are running themselves out to play. And if they do have the balls to man up against a 6'5", 330-pound tackle, they're just going to get picked up and walked like a forklift. So, I just don't get why we don't do kind of the obvious things. I see San Fran do it a ton. I see Philly do it. I see all these other teams that we can run the ball like those teams, but we refuse to do it. So, again, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole about Kellen, but, he said it. Yeah, we didn't get to the number of rushes. But that's the problem. You're going out into these games just wanting to hit a number and not trying to actually run the ball with a purpose. Well, we say this all the time on this channel, man. Dribble with a purpose. Dribble with the purpose, man. Got Big Cat and then D Schiff. What's up, Big Cat?
What's going on, Sky? What's going on? Listen, man, I have these conversations in our circles all the time about purposeful running.
Mm-hmm.
I have these conversations all the time, but I do think that there's a point in time within our team's understanding that Mike McCarthy actually needs to kind of
speak up,
step up. Yeah. I mean, way more so than we might understand or think he does, but it seems as though he's allowing Kellen to kind of guide the ship, and he's there to kind of, hey, there's an iceberg over here, hey, there's an iceberg over there kind of thing. But Kellen is taking the ship in the direction that it's going, and Mike really needs to be at the helm. And I truly, Kellen is still young.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't, seem to have this other thought about Boy Wonder. He's still young. He's still learning. He's still trying to figure it all out. But on top of all of that, the billionaire owner got to have a conversation with these millionaire players about sacrifice, about the idea of what this is about. It's amazing to me, bruh, in any grown man situation. And again, these kids are still kids. I'm going to throw that at you too. These boys are still boys learning how to be men in a man's world. You know what I'm saying? So they really don't understand what that means. And at some point, the millions of dollars that you're paying these kids, you got to talk about that. This is not without purpose. It's not without sacrifice. It's not without any of us giving up parts of our childhood and parts of our family lives and everything else to make this one opportunity happen, because it don't come around every time. It don't come around every year. It's not put on your plate. The circumstances don't fall where they may. They need to have those conversations, dude. Like I said, I always, man, appreciate the conversation, your listeners, and everything else, bro.
Thank you, Big Cat. Appreciate it. You're talking, and I'm sitting here thinking about what you're saying. Do you guys remember? I don't even know if they're still doing it, or the rookie symposium or the rookie transition program. I think that should extend beyond rookies. I think that should extend to players that are 25 years and younger, because you're still, like you said, think about when we were 22, 23, 24 years old. We ain't got $1 million. We don't have a fat contract. We're not the big man on an NFL campus, right? So yeah, these players, and it's normal. It's human instincts. You think you're invincible at that age. And I think there needs to be a NFL transition program, not just a rookie transition program, to talk to these guys. I don't know if they've had these conversations with these players since, COVID has become a thing, but they need to maybe alter how they, teach these guys, because, all right, listen, man, you are going to do what you want to do, but at the end of the day, if you test positive, whether you believe in it or not, if you test positive, you ain't playing. So
it's a wrap.
So you got to do what's necessary to avoid that for at least a few months. It's a sacrifice, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really a small one.
It's amazing. The point that you made with with giving these, you millionaires, but you're still kids. My grandfather.
Oh snap!
My grandfather used to tell me. He said, "Yo, you can put a tuxedo on a monkey and take him to a ball, but he's still a monkey. He gonna act up. He gonna do what he gonna do. He gonna jump on chandeliers. He gonna throw some food at you. At some point, bruh, you have to understand that these kids are still kids, and that's just like you saying, man. You have to give them more. They
Big
need
Cat.
more.
Damn, Big Cat, I gotta tell you this right now, bro. The chat said you sound like Ice-T, and now I cannot get that out my head, bro. You sound just like Ice-T. And in honor of Ice-T,
my man.
Damn, dog. Great call as always, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Ice-T. Oh, fresh ass kind of true. I didn't think about that. I wasn't even listening to the monkey part. I was thinking, I just saw in the chat. I'm like, why the hell they talk about Ice-T? And then I read, it's like, hey, he sound like Ice-T. I'm like, yo, he really does sound like Ice-T. I'm about to put you in there as Big Cat Ice-T from SVU. Let me get you in here, Schiff. Schiff, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, dog? Whew. This ain't cool, Sky. This is not cool.
And I'm
looking at the receiver. I'm just looking at the receivers, man, and just looking at all these targets. Like, everybody know Cooper Kupp getting the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
He got 138 receptions on the year.
Yeah.
For CeeDee Lamb to be having the leading receptions with 77. Come on, man.
Yeah, Schiff.
Like,
that's the talking point of the week for us, man. There seems to be no deliberate effort to get Coop the right. Even when you think about Lamb, bro. I mean, yes, he leads the team, but it ain't really like it's the deliberate effort to get your best players the ball. To me, it doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's way behind in the line, man. And then, I mean, and I understand these guys missed a couple games, but, I mean, even those games they would have played, they probably would have still got, 3-4 receptions.
Yeah, there was a stat, I think it was Adrian might have said it yesterday. Aside from week 1, I think Coop is averaging like 6.5 yards, 6.5 targets per game. That's unacceptable, bro.
I mean, these guys are in the same company of running backs. They're in the same company of of receivers that's on struggling teams. So, I mean, this is unacceptable. Just looking at that game, I was just highly frustrated with, like we talked about, man. My biggest thing with leaving your ego, man, was just a matter of understanding that you're not that guy. Kellen Moore has to understand he's not that guy. And you need to go ahead and ride the coattails of your superstars if you're trying to get that big payday.
Facts.
Because you're not going to do it off your own loins. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
Like, so I've been away, man. I was able to call a lot last week because I was on vacation or whatnot, so I had time. I'm back at work, so I ain't ducked it. I
feel you,
nowhere,
bro.
man.
I feel you. It's holiday season now. It's over, so we all back to our normal schedules.
Back to the grind, man. But man, this is just highly unacceptable. In that Cardinals game, I understand we're trying to preserve our guys, but come playoff times, I better not see Basham and Armstrong getting as much reps as Gregory and
Boy, I noticed that too.
And my boy Law. I better not, man. I had a kind of a little debate going on with Big Game. And I was talking about how, by next year, first off, well, I said I would pay, Randy Gregory $15 million a year. I don't know how you feel about that.
The number game, I haven't really played it yet because the cap is going to go up. We'll move money around. So I'll get into the numbers game in the off season, but I do want to prioritize bringing him back.
Considering like a TJ Watt's getting $27 million.
Yeah, that's nothing compared to TJ Watt. Yeah.
Relative to, and then Randy Gregory's skill set is not that far below.
I know this for a fact. I mean, this is what he's told me for a fact. He's coming for the bag. Wow. So he's going to try to get the most he can get. I don't know what that number is going to be. I'm not going to try to play the number game just yet, D-Shift, because as we sit, we don't got a ton of cap, but I don't want to talk about where we sit right now because with the swift, swipe of a pen, we can get $45 million. So I don't know where I want to be at number-wise with Randy. Okay. I do want to prioritize him to bring him back, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But I feel you though on the snap counts in regards to the playoffs. I'm with you. I don't listen. It's one thing to manage them throughout the regular season, right? Like they did with they said they were going to do with Ezekiel Elliott, and they did that. They managed his carries, they managed his workload, and I guess you're managing, D-Law and Randy Gregory and things like that in the regular season. Cool. Yeah. I get it. When we get to these playoffs, if they ain't tapping their head to come out, we're going to keep them to 30, 35 snaps. Forget all that. This is do or die. And it's the same thing on the offensive side of the ball. This is do or die. Put your ego away, like you said, Kellen, and put the ball in your best players' hands, and you win and you lose with them. If we're going to win and lose with a system, then you're going to lose, I think, because we don't have a system, offensively at least, that I think has been successful, that's been championship-worthy successful. We have a system that has been hit and miss in Dallas, but this system is not being run across the league. That's won championship. So put the ball in your best players' hands. On defense, play your best players.
Yeah, I mean, you got receivers. You don't got to do receiver by committee.
Mm-hmm.
That's not our makeup. That's not what we do. We have too talented of Lamb and Cooper are too talented to sit up here and try to force the ball to Malik Turner. Just for the sake of saying, our fourth receiver is even getting to, I don't
or
care
Noah
about
Brown. I keep bringing this play up because it really ticked me off. Like I'm screaming at Dak as I'm watching the film. Why are you going keep saying it. There's a play where they had all three of those guys motion CeeDee Lamb over. They got the high-low look they wanted. They put the pressure on the corner. The corner plays up. You got a window to Coop in the back. The corner plays back. You got a yak opportunity underneath for CeeDee Lamb. For whatever reason, it was 1, 2, 3. I'm looking that way to look off whatever, and then I'm coming back to Noah Brown underneath. Somebody needs to be screaming at this man. I don't give a damn about a Noah Brown. You wait for that to complete, And then if it's not there, you come back to a Noah Brown. So I don't know what's happening, but they got to figure this thing out, and they got to win or lose. They got to ride or die with their guys.
Man, I hope it changes come playoff times. I'm kind of treating this week like a bye week. Like, I don't care, whatever. Like, but it come playoff time, they got to get their head out their asses, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just hard facts, man. This isn't. I mean, me and you are gonna have multiple discussions about what this offense has been going through back and forth. I'm willing to concede that there is a problem. Now, I won't say there's a particular. I think it was a matter of it's so confusing to us because we know our players' ability, but it's so out of our hands because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know. I mean, this went all the way back to 2018 when Coop came and he was shining, and Scott Linehan put him in the doghouse. And I don't
you can hear it,
why
Schiff.
Jerry's allowing this to happen.
You can hear it.
If there's any time for Jerry to live up to the meddling owner stereotype, now's the time, Jerry.
What if he? I'm saying that because somebody brought this up, but I'm not going to do this conspiracy thing. Nonetheless, you can hear the discord right within the ranks. You hear Cooper now coming out twice. You hear Dak multiple times, really not trying to throw anybody under the bus. He's just saying, "Hey, listen, it ain't what There's other things going on that you guys don't understand." Like, and I get it. It's tough. All we can do is look at the tape. Based off of what we see, we don't know what the call is. We don't know what the progression is. We don't know, what's what. All we do is we can just judge on what we see. But there's clearly some type of miscommunication or misunderstanding between that offensive group, man. And it might start at the top. But hey, Schiff, let me get to a couple other players, bro.
All right, Scott, man. Have a great weekend, bro.
Or a couple other players. Appreciate you. My head's in the clouds. A couple other players. Couple other callers. I don't know if this is sarcasm or not from Ted. He said, so I guess we blame Dak then. I'm thinking that's sarcasm, but yeah, he's part of it. He's not above reproach. This is clearly a and I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, a collective issue going on with this team. When you come out and you run the ball 12 times against a team that can't stop the run or has lost when teams have ran the ball 34, 33, 33, and 37 times. Yeah, it's a problem. When you come out and you're just wanting to hit a number, that's a problem. When you go into the press conference and say, yeah, we can't narrow it down to one person, when these one persons are extremely talented players, that's a problem. Then when your Q goes out there and he's coming off of his reads and not targeting these guys, that's a problem. And then when you get into a tight game and you miss, even though if it's only maybe 3 or 4 misses, which are standard and regular in football, and you miss them, that's a problem. This thing, when you drop balls, that's a problem. This thing is from top to bottom, man. From top to bottom, the inconsistencies with this offense. It's not just one thing, and that's what I've been saying all year. I've been saying that all year. But Cooper did say 2 days ago, I've got plays that are designed for me this week, so we'll see how that works out. And, I'll hope that I can get the opportunity, et cetera, et cetera. In my head, I'm like, this week? This week. Okay. This game really doesn't mean it. Listen, I'm not saying it doesn't mean anything to get momentum. I want them to find some momentum, but I'm hoping that carries over into the next week, which is playoff week, right? Like, if Coop has to come out every week, speak up to get the targets, to get the game plan to go towards him, then damn it, he better come out every week and do it. Because what I don't want to happen is, all right, Coop spoke up. He comes out. He gets 11 targets, 8, 9, 10 receptions, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns, and they're like, all right, he's full. We'll go back to distributing to Noah Brown and Dalton Schultz and Ced Wilson like they're all the same. So if Coop got to come out the next week and say, see, that worked, do it again, then do it again, Coop. Fresh Fade. What's up, Fresh?
Man, what's up, brother? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm real good.
Man, that's what's up, man. Yeah, man, it's Friday, man. It's a good day. I'm looking forward to later on. I'm gonna watch Friday too, and I'm gonna open up this bottle of Yak real quick. But hey man, check it out. I was listening to, I'm sure we've all heard it as fans on those networks as far as we're not beating good teams. And
lately,
I just got to. I went back. Yeah, I went back and I was just looking at our schedule and I was just remembering how I felt before each game and the noise before each game. Remember when we were about to play the Panthers? How everyone was hyping them up like they were like the best team ever since sliced bread. And when we beat them, they trashed.
Yep.
Right. Same thing with the Vikings. They were saying, "Oh, the Vikings are a big, they're a good team. Kirk Cousins
coming off a win, top 5 offense."
Yeah. When we beat them, it's just Kirk Cousins.
Hell, Philly was 2-1 coming into that game. They were the number 1 rush defense. A lot of people were like, "Oh, Dallas ain't gonna be able to run." We ran for 200 yards almost on those boys. So,
Yeah, same thing with Washington. I mean, it's funny how just they take the records now and then say, "Oh, these weren't good teams," but they weren't saying that weeks ago when we beat them first.
I mean, we've literally beat playoff teams. Here's the problem: they want to act like the first half of the season doesn't exist, and it's only Dallas, right? Like, oh well, Dallas is 11-5, but they ain't beat nobody. Excuse me, sir. We've got literally 3 wins against playoff teams this year.
Playoff teams, yeah.
And we've beaten teams that are on the cusp of being in the playoffs. And it's not like these boys is getting blown out to any of these other teams they've lost to aside from Denver. These are competitive games that one bounce of the ball or one call. It's a totally different story you're talking about here. But, this is why I don't listen to the networks, bro. The Cowboys' problems are internal. I don't think it's really about who they play. I don't. I think it's about how they play.
Yeah, exactly. And when I noticed, when I went back and watched some of the games earlier in the season, and when I watched, the type of routes that Kellen Moore called for CeeDee Lamb when he was on the boundary, and when Seth Wilson was in the slot, it was just a little bit. He called just more technical routes, and then CeeDee Lamb runs he has more nuance to his route running than Michael Gallup did on the outside. So what I noticed is that he only called, I don't know why, he only called a go route, a comeback route, and like your basic slant route for Michael Gallup. That was all he was running. Three routes. And the cornerbacks were sitting on everything. They knew what he was running. I don't know how, but it was one-on-one
film study, bro.
With Michael Gallup, which is crazy. Yeah, it was one-on-one coverage with Michael Gallup. But when CeeDee Lamb was out there, they had they had more double coverage on CeeDee because he could route up a cornerback on the outside easy.
Bro,
and
they were running over routes with CeeDee Lamb. They were going twin left, twin right, and sending him across the field, and he was out. Like, they were running. The whole route tree was available, and that's why, again, if you heard the beginning of the show, Fresh, I'm not trying to shit on Michael Gallup. He is what he is, but this offense is just a little bit more versatile when it has CeeDee Lamb on the outside, Amari Cooper as your Z, and then Seth Wilson as a true slot. They do different things, and you can't sit on certain. It just is what it is, Fresh, and that's no knock on Michael Gallup.
That's facts. And I was looking at that Patriots game and the way CeeDee Lamb was just taking advantage of the number 2 corner. I mean, we haven't seen that from Michael Gallup. And like you said, it's not shitting on him. It's just that CeeDee Lamb just has a better feel right now at this point in his career on how to run routes as the outside wide receiver. I mean, his rookie year, he was a smaller guy. I understand him being in the slot, but he's not a slot receiver anymore.
He was a slot by default.
I think at this point he's a slot. I mean, he's an outside wide receiver. So I believe that, the offense will present some more challenges to defenses now, so that because before, honestly, defenses only had to worry about 2 wide receivers. That was with Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb because they were having just one corner on Michael Gallup on the outside because they knew what he was running. Now, I think it's going to be a little bit more versatile.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see more motions. You're going to see different types of routes now. I think it's going to be a little bit better. I don't think it's going to be completely fixed, but
I'm with you, man. That's the silver lining, and it sucks because it had to come to this. That's why I'm not like excited about saying it, because it had to happen, or may have to happen, due to an injury and due to Blake Jarwin coming back. But there is this hope in me that, and again, I'm living on a hope creed now, right? And I talk about not living on it, but that's pretty much what I got right now. That this offense will get better by default, as I said at the top of the show, because Kellen has no choice now but to open it up in a different manner, because you got CD and Cooper on the outside, and then you could run this 12 personnel with Blake Jarwin and Dalton Schultz. So I do think it'll be better. It's just, is it too late? That's the only question I got now. Is it too late?
I don't think it's too late. I just think that with this time down, I don't know if. I mean, I would play Dak this last game. I would. I would just play him. I know Tyron. Oh, okay, cool. I don't know if Tyron's going to be out. I mean, actually, he won't be out there. I don't know who all's going to be out there, but I think this sort of reminds me of that game when they played. Remember when they played the Giants and that Cole Beasley catch? How they were, they wanted Dak to play to sort of going into the playoffs.
Was that 20?
Was
that the playoff year, 2018?
I think it was 2017. Yeah, he threw it on the rope for a game-winning touchdown to Cole Beasley, something like that. Yeah, and I think that was a game that we didn't need. But
good. That's a damn good comparison, Fresh.
Yeah, I think they're going to approach it like that because Dak needed that game too. He needed to go into the playoffs with some momentum, and he damn sure did, man. With that, it gave him some confidence to go into that game and win. And then the next game they played Seattle and beat them. So I think
you might have changed my mind on this one, bro. Seriously,
I think this game.
I treated this like a preseason game until now.
No, I think Dak needs to play this entire game, man. He needs to play this entire game. I don't care if we're blowing them out if we're blowing them out by fourth quarter, then maybe put him back, sit him down. But he needs to play as much as he can throughout this entire game. That way we can get some momentum, and because momentum matters. And I think just having some more time with that combination of CD, Cedric, and Cooper back out, I think they need to get some really good reps in because they're not practicing during the week. They're just doing some they have the helmets on, but it's not really anything. So I think everybody needs to strap up this week, go all in, and see what happens, and then hopefully we can go into that Cardinals game and get that dub. I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be Dallas Cardinals first round. But
it seems that way.
All right, man. I'll let you go.
Appreciate you, Fresh.
I'll let you guys want to. All right, bro.
Have a good weekend, man. This is why I love talking to y'all, because you guys make me think. I don't ever try to come on and act like I got all the answers. I damn sure don't. I'm no coach. I stayed at a Holiday Inn now. But yeah, that's a very interesting observation. 2018, I think we came off a loss, if I'm not mistaken, to the Colts. Was that game? Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, yeah, I think it was the Colts. No, we beat the Bucs the week before that. But there was a Colts loss prior to that. It was a bad loss, too. So then they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a close game, and then they beat the Giants in a close game. But, yeah, this offense does need to find – I said this earlier in the week. Do I think this game is going to change my mind on how I feel about the offense? Nah, it's not. But for the players' mentality, especially with Michael Gallup out, they probably do need to get into some kind of they definitely need to get into some kind of rhythm and get their own confidence. And that game he brought up about the Giants where Dak played all the way through, very risky. It played all the way through, but I thought it helped him moving into the playoffs, and then he got the playoff victory against the Seahawks. So now I'm torn again. Risk versus reward. I was thinking 2 quarters. at most, before yesterday happened with all these COVID situations, I was thinking at least 3 quarters and pull him. But do you play him the whole game? I don't know. It's a good question.
Super chat.
Manny and Don Ramirez, appreciate the donations. Says baby lemon look. Oh man, they just sent a super chat sticker, but on Restream, whatever they send comes up in words, and I was about to read. It's ridiculous. Below the heavens.
Super chat.
Appreciate you for the $5 donation. It says, if we beat Philly and the Rams lose to San Fran, do we take that 3rd seed? For the 3rd seed to happen, the Rams need to lose and the Cardinals need to lose. For the 2nd seed to happen, the Rams, Cardinals, and Bucks need to lose. So, regardless, I still want to win this game. There's no doubt about that. But to answer your question, no. If the Rams lose, Cowboys win, they do not take over the 3rd seed unless the Cardinals lose. And let me lock this up because we're getting packed in here, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get to everyone, but I got to get to my day ones and my members. And starting off with B Bird, my OG. What's up, B Bird?
Hey, what's happening today, Sky?
I'm good, man. How your Friday going so far?
It's going good, man. So I'll just tell you this. The Cowboys offense just need to see the ball go through the hoop, like we talk about.
Like we did with the Washington football people?
Yeah, we just need to see the ball go through the hoop. So we need to play this game, man, and get a good feeling about, just going into the next week, the playoff game. So if we can get that out of it, if it's 1-2 quarters or whatever it is, we just need to see the ball go through the hoop. And so just knowing that we can do it. So one thing, man, I got a random thing I wanted to tell you about that that I really was proud of you. I guess we was in a 2-game losing streak, and Eastside called up.
Man.
And you just shut him down and put him and shut him down. And man, I was like, that's the same way I would handle that. And the reason why is because I have a policy, because I'm a diehard. If you call me and we talk football after the Cowboys win, then we can talk football after the Cowboys lost.
Facts.
But you can't just call me after the loss. We're not going to do that. And so I shut people down early on in my life. I say, man, look, we can't talk it when we're doing good. We can't talk it when we're doing bad.
Facts. And then definitely
that's right. Don't blow my phone up.
Definitely when you go missing for 8-9 weeks or whatever it was, right? Like Eastside was missing for 8 to 9 weeks, and out of nowhere we lose to the Kansas City Chiefs. You want to call my home? Get out of here with that mess, man.
Man, and you got him out of there real fast, man. So, hey, I appreciate that, man. One thing I was gonna talk about, Kellen, is that some of this thing is a little bit political, in a sense of, I know you remember this, but when Wade Phillips, was hired, Jason Garrett was already, hired before him.
Mm-hmm.
What that does, since Wade didn't bring him in, it gives him a little bit of clout around the star, a little bit more than what he should have, because he's plucked out and picked personally by the owner. If you look at Kellen was put on McCarthy. He was here before him, and I think he may be one of only about 2 or 3 coaches, but as far as coordinator, he has a little bit of Jerry likes him. And so he has a little bit of clout. So we wonder why McCarthy hadn't stepped up and said anything or did this, or, just took over or just say, hey, we need to run the ball more or whatever. I think that may be a little bit of political stuff going on there. What do you think about that?
Well, remember at the beginning of this whole situation when Mike McCarthy was hired, a lot of us couldn't ignore the Jason Garrett comparison because we were told – and I think there's some truth to it, but not a whole lot. But we were told that Mike McCarthy gave the okay for Kellen. Mike McCarthy said, yeah, when I was sitting there, and I decided I wanted this job in Dallas, I said I want Kellen. But I think we all believe Jerry said, yeah, we know you want Kellen. I ain't feeling how convicted you are, but you getting Kellen. So you're getting Kellen no matter really what you think. And that was the same situation, like you said, with Wade Phillips. So there was there's that comparison. So. And the Cowboys are not giving us any reason not to believe there may be something there. And that's what Dallas does, right? They always give us something to kind of hold on to in regards to the politics of this organization. So, I mean, I can't be mad at you for thinking that, because some part of me, there is a little bit of that believes it, that, hey, Kellen has a big stick because of his owner. being in this corner. And I'm sitting here talking to Special K in the chat. I think it even trickles down to the quarterback. He asked, hey, is Dak Prescott too close to Ezekiel Elliott? Is that why he's getting carries? I think he's too close to Kellen. I think their relationship is too tight in the sense of it's not like a Sean Payton, Drew Brees relationship, B-Bird, where there was no, Sean Payton ran stuff, right? You knew Sean Payton was the guy. Kellen was the backup to Dak. Kellen really doesn't have much weight to hold over Dak. And John Kitna was the quarterback's coach that helped Dak Prescott kind of take that next step as a passer, not Kellen Moore. But they were roommates, they were teammates, and quarterback coach and OC. I just think there's a little bit they're too tight there. So, and what allows them to be? Maybe it's Jerry, So I'm with you. The conspiracy is there, and they're not giving us any reason not to believe that there's something to that.
And I think McCarthy had to come out and say, even if Kellen was put on him, he would have to come out and say that, no, I wanted him and be, really, put it out there real good to make it feel like, it's not a Jerry thing putting him on me. So he had to counteract that. So he only said what he would have to say. Mm-hmm. And I think as far as our how far we go in the playoff, I think it really does hinge on Dak Prescott and the zone coverage. I think he's struggling with zone. He's struggling with changing of defenses at the scrimmage.
That's what he's struggling with, B-Bird. He'll eat the zone up if he knows it's zone. He's been struggling with the pre-snap stuff. And if that doesn't get taken care of, it'll put us in a bind.
And that's to me, that's more of a Kellen Moore thing because the offense is predicated on reacting to what the defense does. Mm-hmm. Defense knows that. We talked about this last time. Yeah. And so that's more on Kellen. But the thing is that I don't think Kellen can help him at this point in time. Right. It's going to be on Zach just to say, hey, we got to, hey, I got to see it better. I got to see it, and the wide receivers have to see it, and everybody got to see it beforehand because we only have so much time between plays. So, hey, man, look, I'm going to let you go. I just wanted to just run that thing to you about Kellen Moore and McCarthy and just get your thoughts on it, man. You have a great weekend, and go Cowboys.
Thank you, B-Bird. Have a good weekend, brother. Great call, as always, from B-Bird. Yeah, we talked about it here on this channel, didn't we? The possibility of that JG Wade Phillips vibe, but less sabotagey. Like, I think we all felt the sabotage coming under Wade Phillips. I don't see that here because I think that Mike McCarthy has a better grip over this team. I think he's an actual head coach's head coach, where Wade Phillips, we love him. We love you, Coach Wade, as a defensive coordinator, but it's historically proven Wade Phillips is not a head coach. He's a great defensive coordinator. He's a kind of a one-hit wonder as a head coach. He'll get you a good year. Then it fizzles out because he's just not that kind of guy. Remember Camp Cupcake, right? Like, that's just how it was with Wade. Whereas I don't think if push came to shove, Mike McCarthy would do something to get fired. Mike McCarthy from Pittsburgh. Mike McCarthy blue collar. He not into this robotic stuff. You sleep on Mike McCarthy if you want. If push came to shove, Mike McCarthy would do something to get fired before he lets, I think, Kellen Moore publicly or noticeably undermine him / sabotage him. I do. I feel that way. I could be wrong, but I feel like Mike ain't with the shits in that regard. In that regards. Remember how Jason Garrett, for instance, this is what came out. Jason Garrett came to Jerry Jones and said, I want to call plays. This is what we were told. I would like to call plays again, Jerry. Can I call plays? Jerry said, no, Kellen. If Mike really want to call plays to save his career, I can't see Mike saying, well, Jerry, can I please call plays? I can't see it. I just can't see it. I could be wrong, but I can't see it, bro. I feel like Mike will go down swinging. We got Los, Nacho, and I'm going to get O-Head. I think we're going to rock. I do want to see. There's a couple other players. I keep calling y'all players. A couple other callers up in here. What's up, Los?
What up, Scott? Hey, man, if you want me to be a player, man, I'll go find a game. Anyways, man, I hope you're good. Have a good Friday. I'm ready for the game. But I mean, I really have nothing to say. I hate Philly. I mean, if they beat us, all well. If we win, all well. And if we win, we're gonna have to depend on Arizona, LA, and the Bucks to win. I mean, to lose. My bad.
Right.
So is that probable? We'll see.
Very
And
slim possibility there. Bro.
Yeah, and one can say with facts that this defense has carried this team the second half of the season.
100%.
And too many points were left out there where the defense gave us the ball, the kicking game, and the red zone efficiency on the road. And let me say this about my guy Dak. I rock with him. He's been my guy since the preseason game, like from LA. But he has been inconsistent this year with holding on to the ball and giving a defense a chance to flip the field off a bad read, throw, and these butterfingers. And no team is a cakewalk in the NFL, especially in the playoffs. All it takes is one game to lose. There is no best out of 7, Sky, like baseball or basketball. One error, right, can change the whole momentum of the game completely.
Okay.
So Dak has to play clean and efficient, and don't play with the hands tied up, Kellen. This is where it falls on Kellen. He has to be balanced, feeding Pollard. And if we're running inside the middle and it's not working, why are we doing it? Now, we're running on the outside and it works. Why did we stop doing that? You know, I don't know what's going on with Kellen. I really don't know. All I know is we got to start with Cooper and CD and give them the targets because let them go to work. Like that caller said it. I mean, Cooper Kupp and Adams, they're just a one-man solo team. But with targets, look what they can do. You know, just give them the opportunities. Like I said yesterday, you can't expect me to be at my best when all you give me is a one-shot opportunity. It's like having the best player on your team, like Steph Curry in basketball, and letting him only shoot 1-3 a game. That is not going to get it done.
Yeah. I would argue use Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, right? Like use both because that's the type of squad Dallas has. They have multitude of high level players that they can get involved. It's not hard. You get about 60 to 70 plays a game, right? You got, I would say, 3 to 4 players that you can focus on with those plays. That's what it should be in my opinion. You know, again, I'm no offensive coordinator. I didn't play in the NFL. I didn't play in the league. But when you are a coordinator like Kellen who really does not have a system, let's just be completely honest here. This is a reactionary type of scheme. So if that's the case, then I'm going to rest my hopes and prayers on my best players. And I'm scheming up things for them, and I'm going to live and die with that. If this was the 90s or the early 2000s and you had like the West Coast offense and things like that, that is an offense designed around the scheme. Whereas, in my opinion, this should be an offense designed around its players.
Exactly, Sky. And then last thing is with me talking about this defense, is they have potential to be an all-time great defense. And if they can win the Chiefs this year, I'm saying it.
All time?
I'm saying it, Sky. They have, not of all time, but they have a chance to build a dynasty here. And I'm saying this, Sky, like, dynasties don't build on offense. Okay. They build a foundation on defense. Like I see. Well, I hate this.
Can
team,
we?
But
I'm sorry. I can't because this bugs me. Why do Cowboy fans? Don't calm down. Why? I hear this a lot, man. We want to build a dynasty, man. Let's build a dynasty. Can we win a goddamn playoff game first? Can we get to the NFC Championship game first? Can we win a Super Bowl first, Los? It's just getting to me a little bit, man. I hear this a whole lot about these damn dynasties and all this stuff. Dynasties don't happen unless you get to the playoffs and win consistently. Can we start off with just having a consistently good defense for years and years before we start talking dynasty? But I digress, Los. I had to get that out. It was eating at me because you ain't the only one that said it. This has been building up.
No, it's okay, man. Like I said, that's why I said this year it's an NFC Championship bust or not. Because if they don't make it to the NFC Championship this year, that's well, you can knock all that dynasty talk and everything. Like you'll take it out of my system like for real. I won't ever
shouldn't
say a
be
word
there.
about dynasty ever again. But man, if we do win the chip this year, right, and we do make it to the NFC Championship game, just be on the lookout for the team we can build. And that's all I have to say,
Oh, man.
Sky. And like, I will say this though.
Yeah.
If we do make a run at the Super Bowl, I will be unapologetic and I will be renting my talk because
Boy,
too many teams have,
Be
I'm pretty sure you have.
obnoxious.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have ran against those people, Sky, that been like, "Are you a Cowboys fan? Man, they're losers, man. Man, they're losers, man.
Yeah.
Why don't you follow Patriots? Why don't you, man?
I'm from PA.
Why are you loyal to that team? You know, like, man, I hate those type of people. Win or lose, man, I'm a Cowboys fan for life, and I speak for that.
You are. You definitely are diehard, Los. Appreciate you, dog.
Peace.
Yeah, I'm from PA, man. I had to deal with the Steelers. I went to school near Pittsburgh, like right outside of Pittsburgh. I went to school when they were winning Super Bowls in the mid-2000s. I was up there when they went 3 times in 4 years or whatever it was, or 5 years or something like that. Yeah, it is annoying. Then Philly wins the Super Bowl. So yeah, Los. I get all that. So if Dallas wins, I say it all the time, I'm gonna lose friends. But yeah, yo, I just gotta shut this dynasty talk down. And that's not me being negative, me being pessimistic. I'm the exact opposite. They say there's 2 different types of people in the world: half glass full, half as glass empty. I'm half glass full. I am. But the definition of a sports dynasty is after you win a championship. That word shouldn't even be talked about until you win one. So, Earnings My Way to Heaven says, man, you're going to kill me. But y'all know Romo was the bull crap, the play calls. Wish we had a D like this when he was here. Yeah, I don't feel like talking about the Tony Romo era. I'm going to just be honest with you. Special K, Kellen stays in the mad science lab too much, and he's too busy trying to come up with the new plays instead of focusing on developing a scheme on things he knows works for his players. I got to see that goddamn comment because that's literally, I don't know how else to explain how I feel about the situation. Kellen stays in the mad science lab too much, and he's too busy trying to come up with the new plays instead of focusing on developing a scheme on things he knows works for his playmakers. 100% agree. Now, this is what we were hearing, right? So maybe things change. Y'all got on me yesterday. Maybe things are going to change. Take a listen.
And I also know, because I have intel too, they've got plays for him that's saving for the playoffs. I'm talking about Pollard. They do not want him to be hurt. When they had him rest because of that plantar fasciitis tear in his foot, it was a good break. But at the same time, they don't want to overexpose him because they've got some stuff designed for him for the playoffs. Just letting you know.
All right. Y'all know how I feel about this holding back crap. It better work. That's all I'm saying. If they are holding back, it better work. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Early in the year that we continue to talk about. Where have those plays in those schemes that Kellen was running early in the season?
Yeah.
Where have they been in the middle or the end? We haven't seen those hardly anymore.
Nope. There's a bag of plays that Kellen, I guess, is saving for the playoffs. That's what I'm going to roll with. I'm going to go ahead and stick with that conspiracy theorist that everyone is throwing out there and hope that's the case. And they come back out here in the playoffs, apparently.
Now, with the point you're making there, I'm a very optimistic person. Have always been. I always believe, even when sometimes things are not quite there. So I'm going to believe in exactly what you just said as well. I'm feeling like, hey, listen, they were something must be going on. I hope, and I'm with you on this as well, 110%. If come playoff time, if this football team, specifically offensively in Kellen Moore's side of the, or if they cannot get it together, and we're still going to have some receivers that are not on the same page with the quarterback. Dak is still kind of not getting those pre-reads. Whatever might be going on, if that hasn't been fixed, let me tell you, that love that I had for Kellen Moore as his young coordinator, him and Dak, that little combination, just being ahead of the game and all that, something just doesn't make sense where we can go against an opening day against Tampa Bay, against Todd Bowles. We can go to New England against Belichick, two masterminds in terms of defensive coordinators and what they do, and yet we were ahead of the chains, and we were able to find ways to, obviously almost beat the Bucks. You know what I'm saying?
Nacho, those two games, there's plays in those two games that I'm not saying you haven't run them since, but during this stretch, I can't think that much of them. And one was the fake screen that got a touchdown to CeeDee Lamb that a fan brought up yesterday. The other was that drive we had against the Patriots to win the game where we were running a lot of 12 personnel and we were sending CeeDee Lamb on high-low concepts with the tight ends. We were sending CeeDee Lamb over routes. I just haven't seen that done at a consistent basis, and those things work. So I'm hoping that coming to the playoffs, Nacho, we can get back to doing those things, man.
Last thing, I'm going to chime in, and absolute, we're on the same page on it. Now, losing Gallup hurts because you lose a big possession receiver, a guy that can go after the ball, but a very intriguing thing to think about here. Beginning of the year, and when we didn't have Gallup, Wilson in that lineup brings a dynamic, different offense to what we, with Gallup in there and without Gallup in there, with Wilson in there. These are two different offenses, and I'm gonna go with that. Kellen loves Wilson and what he brings to that offense. That could be a key component going forward. And hey, it's Friday. Enjoy your Friday, Cowboy Nation. Hey, Saturday, let's go play some football. Let's work on some kinks that we've been needing to do, and we get ready for.
Indeed, Nacho. Indeed, man. Appreciate you, man. Enjoy your weekend. Oh, God, me messed up. CJ, you damn right. You damn right. We got 972 and 760. Don't know who they are. Let's give them a shot, though. What's up, 972? What's going on? Who this?
This is KP.
KP, what's going on, KP?
Hey, man,
what's on your
I've
mind?
been listening for a while. I love your show.
Thank you, sir.
First off, I just want to say we appreciate you, dog. Like, all the production that you put into your work,
thank you,
we
man.
can tell.
It's a lot of work, yeah. I love it, though. I love to do it, so it don't feel like work to me, but I love it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can see it. I just want to say we appreciate it. First off, I know we're all down on the Cowboys right now, our chances to get to the championship. But I want to see Arizona in the first round. I'll tell you why. I don't want OBJ. The man built his career off of beating the Cowboys.
Wait, beating or making a highlight play or two? Because if I can recall, when he come here, 2014, he took an L on the big catch. Once Dak got here, I don't think they've beaten Dallas. I don't think the Giants beat Dallas with Odell Beckham, so while Dak was here. So I don't know that he's won against Dallas a bunch, but he's got some highlight plays. But we talked about this yesterday. I feel y'all with the nervousness of playing a Rams team. They got some playmakers on both sides of the ball. I get it. I do. But if you go into a playoff game and you say, who you want to play, Kyler Murray or Matt Stafford, I would want to play Matt Stafford. So that's how I'm feeling about it. Okay, go ahead.
He's a different quarterback than he was, when he was with the Lions. I think he's developed. He's not – I don't think he's the best, but I think he's better than what he was with the Lions. But
he got 7 interceptions the last 3 games.
I would just rather play Arizona. I'm not hyping him up. I'm just saying I would rather play Arizona because we learned about ourselves from that game. I mean, we learned how to play a little bit more mobile of a quarterback. I mean, Randy Gregory was cutting in, and we should have been containing on the outside.
I'm not. You know what? If we play the Cardinals, I'm good with it. I'm fine with it. But Kyler Murray just has a skill set that makes me nervous. Any quarterback in the playoffs that has that skill set that can move like that, it makes me nervous because how I talk about a pass rush neutralizing a good quarterback. Well, one thing that can neutralize a pass rush is a quarterback that can get out the pocket and make plays. And it wasn't just Randy Gregory, crashing in on a few plays.
No.
Like
it's not just Randy Gregory.
Yeah, this was.
I'm just thinking about the last 5 minutes of that game. I'm sitting there. All right, our defense. You know what? They hold it down on third down.
That was a deliberate.
I was like, get back the ball again, and we might be able to have a chance.
Yeah, but those are deliberate runs.
You know what?
I'm talking about in the passing game where if you drop back and he's looking for somebody open, no one's there, and he scrambles. Like those are the ones that make me nervous. As opposed to deliberate runs, that's just if you get bit from those, you just get bit because running quarterbacks are tough to defend if they're going to run it deliberately.
True. I mean, I'm no fan. I'm no film nerd or anything. I just see, I just say what I see. But I would be more confident against Arizona. And you know what? In the words of Mike McCarthy, we might get our mojo back, get our mojo going. If we beat them, we might have a little bit of steam behind us.
Well, hell, if you beat anybody, whoever you beat in round one, you're going to get some steam. There will be a revenge factor against Arizona. They've beaten you now twice in your stadium, and you're going to play them your third time. Maybe the third time is a charm. Maybe Kyler Murray, it's not his stadium because now he's 9-0. So you got some revenge factor to it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but they seemed a little apathetic in that game on Sunday. They didn't really seem. I know it's supposed to be a big game, and they really wanted to win it, but I don't know if it's just me. I just really didn't see the passion or the baller in them.
I think you were looking for a little bit more of a aggressive type of mindset. Yeah, where against the Cardinals, against Dallas, they were more aggressive. They came out feeling like they had the pressure to win as opposed to Dallas. So I'm with you.
All right, man. Well, that's all I got for the show. I just want to say get those likes up, man. If you haven't made that little thumbs up red at the bottom of your screen yet, then you're not doing it right. Support the show. I tell everybody about you. So
thanks, man.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too.
All right, last one. We got 760. 760. What's up?
Hey, Sky. How you doing?
I am good.
That's good. Hey, I'm calling. I'm from out here from Cali. In Indio. The thing that I've been looking at, that every game is different from Kellen Moore. Like when he gets up, we score first. Like he approaches the game way different. If they score first, the other team scores first, he panics. He just panics and he doesn't even look where the ball's placed. Like that C.D. Lamb play where Buda Baker almost intercepted it. The ball was on the left hashtag, and CD was in the right hand on the other side. That was a way too far pass play.
Yeah, that's a poor call. Yeah, that's a poor call, poor timing right there.
Yeah, that's what that's my observation, that he just panics once we don't score first. Like the plays go out of the system. Like it's way different. I just looked at it. That's the only thing I had to talk about.
No, I think there's something to it. I think this team presses a little bit differently when they're down early, and I don't think they should. I mean, we can all agree that we tend to go away from the run game, even though you don't really need to. Coming out in that second half, if there was an adjustment to be made, I think the adjustment would have been, all right, let's kind of try to get this game going on the ground a little bit, because this team has been susceptible on the ground. Even when the Cardinals went down and scored and made it, what was it, y'all? Was it 19-7? Yeah, 19-7. That game is still in hand. That's not a game that's out of hand, especially in the third quarter. And we didn't. We came out and went what? Pass, pass, pass. And you got a holding, and then you couldn't convert on third down after you did convert on third down and got called back. So, yeah, I think this team presses when they're down as if they're down by 30. And they shouldn't do that. There's a plan sometimes. There is a blueprint to certain teams, and the blueprint was staring us right in the face, and we didn't adjust to it. So, again, I'm just hoping that going into the playoffs, brother, that we do adjust to said team that we play. I don't mind going into every game with a different game plan if that game plan is curtailed around the team. But you can't tell me you went into that Cardinals game and thought, aha, let me pass the ball in this game when they've been losing by teams running on them or at least being balanced.
Yeah, the thing is that if we score first, the Cowboys score first, I'm like 100% we're gonna win.
Feels that way.
Yeah. He. If you look at it, all the games that we won, we scored first, and like almost all the games we lost, they scored first. So I think that's like something that he is in his head. Like once we go down, he panics and he loses track of the field. He loses track of everything he's looking at. He doesn't think the same way, and that's the only problem I got about him.
I wonder, somebody brought this up in the chat or maybe it was in Twitter. I can't remember where. I wonder if he would do better if he was in the booth. It's probably too late for that. But I'm just saying, me personally, I'm no coach, but I feel like being in the booth gives you a better view and understanding of what defenses are doing to you. And you can see it. For instance, he would have saw that Dak was coming off his read entirely too early and said, hey, listen, if you stick a tick or two more longer on Cooper, on Lamb, they're going to break because Patterson or 27 or 33 is not sticking with them after 2 or 3 seconds or whatever, right? Whatever the conversation is. You can see that from the bird's eye view. You can't see that when you're down low, right? So I wonder if he would be better as a play caller at the top in the booth, like Dan Quinn is.
Yeah, probably he needs to move upstairs and don't have nobody around him, and probably it makes him think better.
Yeah. Hey, great call, man. I appreciate you.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Have a nice day.
Yep. Too, man. Have a good weekend. Yeah, that's something that was on my mind when I saw I think it was a fan who brought that up. And I've always wondered that in general. Why play callers don't, especially offensive play callers, because you can see what defenses are doing to you. Why don't they go in the booth? Let me get you out of here, bro. There we go. And I wonder if that's something that they asked Kellen, because they asked Dan Quinn, hey, why are you in the booth? And he said it started with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll told him he believed as a defensive guy that it was better to see things from the top. And ever since, that's how he operated until he went to Atlanta and he called the defense. Just that 1 year, I think he called the defense. It wasn't, he didn't call the defense the whole time. But the 1 year he did it, he was on the ground and not in the booth. And I think it came back to get him. So, but all right, man, this is Feel Good Friday. We're going to head out here. Sorry, let me fix this real quick. Got a couple super chats I want to get to prior to heading out. So my apologies. Stick with me right quick. I see a couple nobles. I see you, bro. I see you. But there was some I missed. So I want to make sure I get back and I get those. Y'all know me. I try to get the super chats. All right. I got Greg McNeil. Appreciate you for the $5 donation.
Super chat.
He says, Scorpio Fire, win a damn playoff game first. Facts, Greg. Let's win a playoff game first. Nobles Royalty, appreciate you for the $5 donation.
Super chat.
It says Cowboys 38, Eagles 14. Great show, Sky. We love it. DCB4L. Yeah, if you guys want to drop your bold takes or predictions or what have you in the chat, you can. Y'all know me. I'm not really going to give mine until tomorrow night on the pregame show with Jesse Holly and myself. Matter of fact, if you don't know about it, you're new here. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Game Day Live.
Where else you want to go? Don't nobody do it like us, bro. Oh my goodness. We beat the brakes off y'all. Whoop that trick.
Game Day Live tomorrow night. Jesse and myself, the final Game Day Live of the regular season. And I hit up Jesse yesterday and told him, man, this has been an absolute blast. Look forward to more work with me and Jesse in the off season. I really want him to be my co-host on this thing, but I don't know if that's going to be possible with his schedule and things like that. But we're going to work to get him on here a few times during the offseason. And next week, I'm working on jam-packing that entire week with guests. Maybe not every single day, but if I can get at least 3 guests next week, I think that would be great. I do know one of them is going to be Mauricio Rodriguez, A to Z Sports primetime host, also the host of Primero Cowboys on YouTube and Facebook. Again, I'm just amazed with how good he has done this year as a young podcaster in the game. I think he's done a tremendous job. He's smart. He's very good at what he does. So we'll get Mo on here. I've reached out to a couple other people. Last week we got Brian Broaddus on. We did a video. I want to try to get these guys on during a live stream, though. So maybe I'll reach back out to B. There's a couple other people I've been reaching out to. Hell, we'll try to get Jesse on here as well to do a little pregame type of dip. So next week, I'm going to try to jam-pack the show with some special guests to get us ready for the playoff game. And depending who we play, I'll likely reach out to that team's writers, bloggers, podcasters, what have you, and get them on here, and we'll talk about them as we preview that matchup. Low key, if I'm going to do that, I'm hoping it's the Rams because we haven't played them. If it's the Cardinals, it's what it is. Then, of course, we'll have Okoye on, breaking down the game, bar for bar, player for player, matchups, X's and O's. He does a tremendous job with his breakdown, so Okoye will be back on next week. It's going to be a fun week next week. I'm excited for it, but we got to get through tomorrow's game first, right? We got to get through tomorrow's game first. Ted said, get Jeff, Law, and Voch. Yeah, that'd be dope, too. See, I'm about to jam-pack the whole damn thing. But we're supposed to be, in regards to Voch and Law and the Roundtable crew, doing a roundtable. But I told y'all yesterday, I'm a little skeptical, man. Y'all don't know. I'm superstitious. I'm a little stitious. A little bit stitious, man. And 2 times this year, we've done the roundtable before big games, Kansas City and Arizona. 2 L's, man. A little stitious. Thinking about trying to petition and rally those boys to say, let's wait to after the postseason. As if us doing a roundtable matters. It really doesn't matter, but I'm just like that, y'all. I'm just like that. But all right, man. Let me press this button. I appreciate all the donations today. All the great callers. Y'all were great. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Mark said hold off on the roundtable. B said don't do it. We might have to hold off on it. Nonetheless, check out A to Z SportsDallas.com and check out all the articles. Get with me tomorrow. Me and Jesse Holly, Game Day Live. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace. Love you. Enjoy your Friday. Shout out to my guy, Stevie Mack, the Mod God. Appreciate you. Let's see. Ooh, yeah. Boy, I tell you, I'm getting a politically correct me right now. I want